Cool. I think it'll make a good chest tank. I just need to cut out those reinforcements. Hopefully it's not going to bulge too much. I'll left a fairly good lip on there, which will hopefully keep it approximately in shape with the pressure where the water builds up. But you guys are able to get the whole ROV in there, which is cool. At least we can test basics of turning and buoyancy and stuff. I need to fill up that hole and then stick that hole over there and where the bottom drain, just to get rid of all the muck out of the water when you're emptying it. Cool. Cut out these reinforcements and clean up these horrid flesh munchers. Hello, welcome to the cave. I've been asking myself why I'm here at 1:45 in the morning after like 6 hours sleep last night. Really tired, just want to go to bed. The reason is I love this kind of shit, and hopefully you guys too. And yeah, entertainment value plus just having a go. Like, humans are absolutely incredible creatures. They totally make stuff happen. All you need to do is spend a bit of time. I reckon pretty much anything's possible. So yeah, that's why I'm out here about to test the new props. Yeah, I'm gonna sap and then I'll do a spraff. Do it. Cool, just a quick run through the setup here. So just having a look at the data sheet for these motors, and they seem to have most power output at four series cell groups. So I've added an extra little, got the dregs together and made up another little cell group. So this is now a 4 series, like 18 parallel cell group. Just going through one of those little cheaper watt meters into a Turnigy 15 amp ESC 35 amp, and then down to the thruster, just with a little stepper motor controller to make the pulse width doofer, to make it chooch. And our lovely new test tank, sporting a sparkly green colour. We're playing with drain trace dry, trying to figure out where the hole to the abyss went. There's a hole there. But yeah, nobody knows where it goes. Very spooky. I also discovered that a bench vise makes a reasonable G-clamp. And testing the new versions of the Ollie Herman Gold thrusters with the shroud and motor mount all in one, with 3 splines coming down to meet the shroud. I was having difficulties. There was kind of difficulties with the shrouds, and the the rotors having like a kind of burn-in time because they were a bit sloppy. I guess I kind of probably over schmoed them with the acetone. That the fit wasn't brilliant, so they tend to rub a bit. The propellers on the edge of the shroud, and they would rattle until they sorted themselves out. Basically, just grind the prop smaller. So I'm hoping for more power. Just how quick we go 4 cells, and it's yeah, extra thrust, which is nice. Not quite as much as I was hoping for, but it's all good. Same set as before, just with the little scales there, about equidistant between the pivot, the center of the scales, and the center of the motor. And also, this time we're running the curvy props. They're kind of inspired by the Blue Robotics stuff. Blue Robotics, if you haven't checked them out, go and check them out now. They're amazing for ROV stuff. Really cheap and kind of good quality stuff. So that's what this is inspired by. And if you can't be arsed making them, just go and buy them from them. They're not terribly expensive. I'll run it with them without the guard in the front. I thought it would be useful to have something to stop, like, you know, if you're swimming with it, to stop clothing and stuff getting sucked in to the propeller and seaweed and stuff. I guess if it only comes through in a bit, the motor might have a chance to chomp it up before it gets wrapped around the prop. Anyway, power up. Right. Take it up to half an amp. 9.7 watts. Got about 190 grams of thrust on that. Half a watt. Let's crank it up to 10 watts. Let's crank it up to 1 amp. Okay, an amp. We've got 390 grams of thrust, drawing about 17.7 watts. Let's take it up to a couple of amps. 33.7 watts, outputting 625 grams of thrust. Let's take it right out. Let's go 10 amps. We're gonna go that high? We can just about go that high. 10 amps. 161 watts. Outputting 2.2 kilos of thrust. Kind of a bit tame actually. A bit boring, just sitting there going, yeah, I'm a cool thruster. Yeah, I can totally do this. Just drink a little bit more. Okay, it's 20 amps. It's still just doing its thing. 3.1 kilos. Max it out. Max it out? Let's max it out. That's like 23 amps. 330 watts. Outputting 3.4. About 3.4 kilos of thrust, which is a whole kilo more than we were getting before. It's quite nice. It's just imagine that, like 2 of those, 1 on each leg. I think it's gonna shift you. This little thing's running without heat sink, so. Oop. Oh, I smell hot stuff. Yeah. Yeah, he's heating up a bit. Hasn't got a heatsink on it. Fiddle. Right, I'm going to try it with I'll shift this wire across, so we've only got 3 series. See what we get. Now, this should be considerably more tame. kind of want to avoid using a 4 series pack if possible, because there's just not enough room to get in the ROV to get 4 of these cell groups together. I could reduce the cell count per cell group and then get 4 in, but I'd like to stay, because if they're 30 amp hours and they're running at 20 amps per motor, and you got 2 of them, one on each leg at full power, you know, it's like 60 amps. So no, it was running at 20 amps, so it's 40 amps. So it's going to last less than an hour on full power, which is an interesting idea. It might be quite a whack. So we'll see. Potentially, you know, you'll never really want it to be that high. Okay, we've got 12.04 volts. Yeah. Power on. Right, we're on. Half a kilo thrust, 2 amps. $50. So let's take it to 5 amps. 5 amps, voltage has dropped a little. So 11.25. Output in 1.2 kilos of thrust. Crank it. Let's just crank it. Full power. 2.4, pretty much what it was before. 2.4 kilos of thrust, which is a considerable whack. 174 watts, which is nice. Right, try sticking the this little guard on front, so you get similar. So I've just put some little inserts with the M6 brass threaded connectors embedded in the plastic, just to hud them in. Right, so I'm not expecting a huge reduction in thrust, but there's likely to be quite a, yeah, there's going to be some, isn't there? Because the things are already strips are like only 1.5 mil thick, so they're quite fairly chunky. Let's do 1 amp, see what we get. There's an amp. 14 watts, we're getting, yeah, 300 grams. Crank it. So we're drawing a bit more power. It's 181 watts. Outputting. Yeah, so we've lost about, it's not a huge amount. That's 2.3, right, 2.3 kilos of thrust. So we lost about 100 grams of thrust by putting that guard on front. But I think that's probably worth it. And that's, yeah, it's not bad. I like that. Plenty. Obviously it's not a particularly scientific test. I haven't, we could run them in reverse, I guess. We'll try that next. A nice big body of water, because the bath is like really quite compact part. You can see the water shifting very easily from back to front. So it could have reduced the power output. It was similar in the bath even, so it's nice to see. Pleased with my tank. I was thinking about leaving one of these motors running for a bit and trying to degrease it with some washing machine detergent, soapy stuff, just to get rid of the black oily gunge. Brilliant. And then yeah, just just stick that inside the tube, connect up the rotary encoder, the motors, ESCs, and put like an Arduino, like a little micro on there that'll take the listen to the rotary encoder, and then just turn on the motors how you want. Also, I've got some little piezo transducers, so I'll have like a little beep sensor for whoever's swimming, like a kind of beep 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 overheat sensor, or a kind of getting wet beep, or a kind of battery low beep 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 beep, that kind of, you know, so you have some audio feedback to the swimmer, so he knows the state of the batteries and what the motors are doing. And yeah, obviously it's fairly homemade. I'm not sure I would trust it with my life, so you know, just swimming at kind of snorkel depth, anything that without it I can still get back to the surface without dying. Even that's kind of big. That's brilliant. Can't wait. Right, the water's fucking freezing though. Not looking forward to swimming in a loch with this bad boy on. Might be good to find a swimming pool who'll let us test it. And probably ROV stuff, you know, it's, yeah, draw an amp, 14 watts. You'll output 300 grams of thrust. And that's probably enough to maneuver. And like nominal thrust, let's take it a kilo. Benchmark a kilo. There you go, a kilo. 62 watts, 5.4 amps at 11.52 volts, which is cool. I think that was worth it. Test complete. I like.